was waiting for my ride in the neighbor's kitchen because it was warmer than the porch, and they said it was fine. The porch light had started flickering again, and no one wanted to deal with it. Inside smelled like dish soap and something sweet that I couldn't place, maybe a candle that had burned down too far. Their son was already at the table when I came in, 6, maybe, almost 7. Shoes still on, backpack open on the floor like it had been dropped there rather than set down, paper spilling out. He was supposed to finish his homework before dinner. That was the rule. Everyone seemed comfortable with it. His mother asked if I could help him while I waited. She said it in the way that people say, "Hold this for a second," already moving away. I said sure. It didn't feel like agreeing to anything serious. He had a worksheet and a dull pencil. The eraser was chewed down to a soft angle. He wrote slowly, pressing hard enough that the letters dented the paper underneath. When he made a mistake, he erased until the paper thinned. We worked through the first few sentences. Nothing strange, simple words. Dog, house, run. He knew them all. He didn't ask for help unless he had to. Then he stopped. He tapped the pencil twice against the page. He didn't look at me right away. When he did, his face was blank in a way that didn't feel shy. Just waiting. "How do you spell?" He started and then stopped. He cleared his throat like he'd heard someone else do it. "Can you help me spell it?" "What word?" I asked. He said it quietly, cleanly, not rushed, not whispered. A word that sounded clinical, like it belonged in a pamphlet. Not a word I remembered learning from another kid. I felt a pause open up, not a dramatic one, just a gap where something should have been. A reaction, maybe. I spelled it for him, out loud, letter by letter. I didn't change my tone. He nodded along, writing each letter carefully, mouthing them as he went. "Where did you hear that word?" I asked. I tried to make it sound casual, like asking where he'd learned a big dinosaur name. He shrugged. His shoulders barely moved. "That's the word they use when it's not an accident." "Okay," I said. I didn't know what else to say that wouldn't sound like something. He finished the sentence, circled the noun. He pushed the paper toward me so I could check it. Everything was right. Before moving on, I flipped the page back like I was double-checking, even though there was nothing to correct. The word sat there in pencil, ordinary now that it was written. It didn't look heavier than the others. It didn't take up more space. "Is this one okay?" he asked. "Yeah," I said. "You did it right." He nodded, satisfied, and rested his chin on his hands. Up close, I could see a faint purple mark on his wrist, just above where his sleeve ended. Not a bruise exactly, more like something that had already started fading. I noticed it, and then immediately noticed myself noticing it, which felt different, like crossing some line I wasn't supposed to. Kids get marks. I know that. He didn't hide it. He didn't even seem aware of it. I told myself it wasn't connected to anything. The easiest explanation lined itself up without effort. His mother came back into the kitchen to grab her phone off the counter. She glanced at him, at his hands, at the paper. Nothing in her face changed. She kissed the top of his head as she passed. "Almost done?" she asked. "Yeah," he said. "Good," she said. "Dinner in a minute." She didn't look at the worksheet again. She didn't look at me. The moment passed because everyone treated it like it had already passed. I turned the page and pointed toward the next sentence. His mother came through the kitchen carrying a basket of laundry, towels and socks folded over the edge. She glanced down at the worksheet. "Good job," she said to him. "Thanks for helping," she said to me, already moving past. No pause, no question. Just gratitude, like I'd handed her something she'd dropped. The heater clicked on. The microwave clock was still wrong. I noticed it said 5:12, even though my phone said 5:08. I wondered how long it had been like that. We moved on to the next page. This one was about animals that live on farms. He knew most of them. He spelled chicken without help. When he got to goat, he asked me to confirm the order of the letters, even though he already had it right. I kept thinking about the way he'd said they. Not like teachers, not like adults in general, just they. As if it was obvious who that was supposed to be. I didn't ask. My ride was late, and checked my phone twice. Told myself I didn't want to make a big deal out of a word. Kids learn things earlier now. Everyone says that. There are videos, posters, assemblies. It felt important to be reasonable. On the drive home, my ride complained about traffic. I nodded at the right places. I almost mentioned the word. Not in a serious way, just as an anecdote. One of those strange kid things people laugh about. I didn't. I tried rehearsing how it would sound out loud. It kept coming out wrong, either too dramatic or too casual, like I was asking to be misunderstood. At home, I caught myself looking it up, not the word, but the worksheet. I found a similar one online, same grade level, same instructions. None of the example sentences used words like that. They used the word arm and leg and head. That didn't mean anything, I told myself. Teachers customize things, parents add examples. It wasn't my place to audit a homework assignment. I closed the tab anyway. It felt like going a step too far. Like documenting something that no one had asked me to document. Later, when I brushed my teeth, I practiced asking the question I hadn't asked earlier. Who is they? I tried it with different tones, curious, light, neutral. None of them sounded harmless once I imagined someone answering. I rinsed my mouth out and stopped practicing. The next morning, the feeling had dulled enough to pass for normal. That seemed like proof of something, though I wasn't sure what. I carried it with me for the rest of the day. Unremarkable, like a word you don't use, but don't forget either. When my phone buzzed, I stood up too fast and knocked my knee into the table. The pain surprised me, felt sharp, then it faded. I rubbed it without thinking. "You okay?" his mother asked from the sink. "Yeah," I said, "just clumsy." She smiled. "Aren't we all?" The boy didn't look up. He was erasing a single letter and rewriting it exactly the same way. "See you later," I said, mostly to fill the space. "Bye," his mother said. "Bye," he said, still not looking at me. In the car, the heater blew cold air first. I watched the house through the windshield. The porch light flickered again. Then my ride pulled away. Later that night, I thought about it while brushing my teeth, not in a focused way. It drifted in and out, among other things. Dinner, a message I needed to answer, the way my knee was starting to ache now that I'd stopped moving. It occurred to me again that I had never asked who they were. The realization didn't feel sharp, more like noticing you forgot something at the store after you're already home. Too late to matter, probably. The next time I saw his mother was a few days later. She asked if my knee was okay. I said it was fine. She laughed and said kids pick up all kinds of words now. Health class starts early. You almost have to admire how much they know. I nodded. Yeah. She seemed relieved, like I'd passed some small test without realizing it was there. I still wait inside when it's cold. I still help him with homework if I'm asked. The rules haven't changed. No one's asked me any new questions. When he uses words carefully, no one interrupts him. Neither do I. Children often learn the language of the world before they understand why it exists. When something feels heavier than it should, that weight doesn't disappear just because no one speaks it aloud. Listening, even silently, is sometimes the first form of care. Please look after yourself and those around you, and thank you for being here.